Hi friends! Welcome back to Slanted Scrolls. Thank you so much for clicking on this video, and I hope you also enjoyed my Manila Pen Show 2026 vlog. And in this video, I'll be opening and checking out my haul from the pen show with you. I'm filming this 6 days after the pen show, and I haven't really had the chance to test and open what I've purchased because, well, it's been busy. Let's start with the stationery items that I got. These are stamps that I got from Catdo. First is a traveler's notebook stack stamp, and then this one is a calendar stamp. I got it because these are the churches from my hometown, and that's the selling point for me. Oops. And then the packaging, I'll add it to my Manila Pen Show journal. Yeah, so this is what it looks like. And then this one is a taho stamp, and I really love taho. Usually in the morning, we'd have this magtataho, and there's a meme that those magtataho are the only guys worth chasing because, yeah, sometimes you would go out and run after them. So I got the stamp because I'm a big fan of taho. Yeah, it's adorable. And then lastly is this Game Boy color that I got from Mars today. They actually manned the stamp stations. So the stamp station actually had a very long queue since the morning. So I was there before 10. And then my strategy was I have a wish list and I look for all of the items from my wish list first. I got the pen, I got the inks, and then I signed up for the nib grind. So the stamp was my last priority, and by the time that I was done with my list, the queue until late in the afternoon, it was still so long. By the time that I got to the stamp station in the evening, they already ran out of a lot of stamps. So this is what I got. It's a Game Boy Color, and they actually had a Nokia 3310 design, and I was torn between that and this one. And I also saw online that they have a very long MRT 3 stamp, so I wanted that too. But yeah, these are the stamps that I got. And then I also got this washi tape from Catdo. This was my third time joining the Manila Pen Show, and it was held at a hotel called Fairmont in Makati, and you'd see a lot of comments saying, why didn't they have it at the Manila Peninsula? Because the Manila Peninsula is called the Manila Pen. So Manila Pen Show at the Manila Pen sounds very fitting, but actually the 2025 Manila Pen Show was held at the Manila Pen, but I think there were a lot more attendees this year, so it was great that they moved the venue. So yeah, this one, the sticker, I'll save it and add it to the journal. That's why I didn't want to tear it out. But yeah, this is what the washi tape looks like. I'll add a swatch of this to my journal later. It's so adorable. Actually, stamps are one of those things, and washi tape, you don't notice that the cost just adds up. Now we'll move on to the inks. First things first, there are a lot of local ink makers here in the Philippines, and let's start off with On Inks. On Inks had 4, and I just got the entire set. This also came in 50 ml bottles, but I just got the 20. The theme for the Manila Pen Show 2026 is Hello Retro. That's why a lot of the inks have like a retro vibe. This is classic suede. I'm excited to swatch these, and I didn't want to open them because when I open them I would have to like decant them and then add them to my swatch book, so it's a lot of work. That's why I waited for my day off or the holidays before I open these. But yeah, this is Cherry Bomb, so I hope it's a nice red. I've been on the lookout for nice bright reds recently, or like, yeah, because I don't have a lot of reds in my collection. This is Hello Retro. This one is a blue ink. Yeah, I also want to compare this with Pilot Iroshizuku Rika, because Rika has been like an obsession of mine lately. Like, my collection is mostly green, mossy, lumot inks, right? But once I got a bottle of Rika last year, I've been like hooked on colors that are similar to Rika. So yeah. And this is also mint condition, so I think out of the bunch, this is my least favorite. And none of the sellers actually had a Manila Pen Show exclusive ink that was a lumot one or a mossy green, dark green one. So I was a bit sad about that. So yeah, these are the On Inks Manila Pen Show 2026 exclusives. But aside from that, I also got this inks. So I told you this one, these are my colors. So Laing is a Bicolano dish, I think. I'm not sure. And yeah, ooh, excited. I have like a lot of On Inks actually. So I'm getting out my handy dandy swatch book. Yeah, these are my On Ink. So these are the MPS 2025 exclusive, and then they also have an exclusive for our Discord group. Yeah, and then I have this one. I won this in a raffle. So yeah, my swatches actually are all transcribed from Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. So if I want to have all my On Inks together, it would have to move. So yeah. Anyway, so I got Laing. I hope this is a nice green. And then I got City Fog. So I'm actually not sure. I didn't, because I get overwhelmed by crowds easily, so I didn't like look too closely at the swatches. Because they On Inks had like a swatch area where you can like swatch out their inks. But yeah, I there was a lot of people, so I just got what sounded good. And they had a promo, so usually they have sales, right? During the Manila Pen Show, and I got this Manila 2024 exclusive. It's called Umang. Yeah, it's a 50 ml ink, and I think this is also like a lumot ink. I'm not sure, but this one is free because I reached a certain amount when I got their inks. I didn't go to Manila Pen Show 2023 and 2024. That was like a period when I stepped away from the hobby a bit. I can probably say that I was a bit burnt out, and also a lot of things were happening in my life back then. So, like fountain pens in general, I just had to step away for a bit. And also maybe because I was just feeling too much, well, not pressure in particular, but I don't know. But yeah, I had to step away from the hobby for like 3 years, I think, and then I returned back in late 2024. So yeah, and then This one is Vinta Inks. So Vinta is also a local ink maker, and they had 5 exclusives, but I skipped the shimmer because I'm not really a fan of, like, I would buy the occasional shimmer inks, but I won't really use it. Also the same for Troublemaker. Troublemaker Inks is also one of our local ink makers, but their exclusives were all shimmers. So I didn't buy. Hopefully next year there would be some non-shimmer inks, but yeah. This one is Rojas Boulevard. Let's read the blurb here. So, Archives from the Metro is a tribute to the fleeting, nevertheless unforgettable stories of city life, from traversing familiar streets to the passing moments and memories that linger in between. Inspired by the textures and rhythm of urban landscape, each ink captures a fragment of the metro as both a place and an experience. Together, the collection forms a living archive that feels deeply personal yet universally familiar. Created for those who find meaning in the everyday, Archives from the Metro invites you to document your own stories one line at a time. So Vinta inks usually have two names. Like it's Rojas Boulevard and then Matinee Rose 1989. Is it 1989? When I saw this watch, I think my first impression was how close would it be to Diamond Velvet Rose, because I had that ink before pre-pandemic, but it got lost during the bustle of pandemic move. So this is Vinta Matinee Rose, and it's very tightly packed. Actually, my strategy when going to the pen show would be, my first priority would be, because this time I was only able to go on the first day, but that's actually my priority, because when you go on the first day, that's when the vendors still have their fresh stock. And then because a lot of people wanted to buy some more of the exclusives, but they already ran out of stock. That's why when I go to the pen show, the priority would be the morning of the first day, and also if I can go on the second day, probably the afternoon of the second day, because that's when some vendors would just have sales, like they would drop their prices even more. This one is Vinta Avenida or Electric Cyan 1982, and I'm also really curious how this compares to Rika. Rika is just, I think Rika is my favorite blue at the moment. But yeah, it's Electric Cyan. And then lastly, we have Vinta Quiapo Golden R 1988. I may have to look up what the years mean actually, or if something significant happened during those years. But yeah, I also didn't like, everything calligraphy had a large crowd because they brought a lot of their stock. So the line, the queue, and like the people browsing their inks, it was too much. I didn't notice that they had Vinta Romblon. So that was an ink I got during the pandemic, and it's like a really sassy kind of black. I think it sheened and had like probably comparable to Ternishi Antique Black. It's a black that had a lot of character, and that's why, yeah, I didn't realize that they have those in stock actually. So I should have got that bottle. But anyway, and then lastly, well, actually, this is my very first purchase, but it's combined with something else. So I'm having this last. But let's go to the pens and nib grinds. My fountain pen collection is very specific, so I haven't done a what's in my fountain pen collection yet, but my priority pens would be something that's a flat top and that's black, or preferably matte black. So I think if I have a fountain pen type, that would be the one. And also preferably like a chunky grip, because I'm not a big fan of the slim pens. I look at the local fountain pen makers, and only one fit that criteria this year, and I got this. Pens by Cal. I beeline to their table. So this one was my very first agenda. I got a Pens by Cal Sinag. Sinag means a ray of sunlight. So I got their Sinag in Nico Ebonite. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that Nico Ebonite correctly, but they have a lot of other colorways. This one is the only black pen, and yeah, it's gorgeous. And when you look, it actually feels nice to hold in the hand. I don't post my pens. I usually, when I write with fountain pens, I just grip the cap in my left hand and then write with it. It's just my preference. So, yeah. And then I got this in a broad nib. So they don't have any like designs in their nibs yet, but I got mine in a broad nib. And then later in the afternoon, I had it ground by Matthew Chen or Pactagon. So I'm not sure if it would be visible or if. So I had the broad nib ground to a Kodachi nib. I think the Kodachi is like a version of the Naginata Togi nib. So it's really nice. And I'm excited to ink this actually. Because the ink that you can see here, it's the ink that he uses when he's grinding nibs. I'm not sure what ink that was, but actually so as you can see, the converter is empty. So he just dipped it, and I actually was able to write a few lines with this pen. But yeah, I'm really excited. This was my first time having my nib worked on by a nibmeister, and yeah, I was nervous. I didn't know what to expect, but yeah, this one is my special pen show pen. And then on top of that, this one was not a pen show purchase, but it's also a nibmeister thing. This one is my Kasama Tala Pulo. So Kasama that's the brand. It means companion. Tala means star. So that's the model of this. And then Pulo means island. So this one is actually I think it was a Manila Pen Show 2024 exclusive. The cap is peak, and then the barrel is ultem. Then they Cerakoted it. I brought several pens with me. I ended up choosing the Tala. This one is a fine nib, and I had it ground to a cursive italic by John. So I'm also happy with it because there's not much you can do with the fine nib, I think. But yeah, those are my two pens. And oh yeah, maybe just for comparison, these are the two models by Kasama. So this one is the Una, which means first, and this one is the Tala. So as you can see, yeah, the Una is way more chunky. And yeah, this one is the grip section compared to the Tala. But yeah, I like their pens. And also maybe let's go on to the freebies. So yeah, I had these. This one is a bookmark from Everything Calligraphy. So that's part of that here. And then each of the archives from the Metro Ink from Vinta came with postcards. So this one is Rojas Boulevard. This one is Quiapo. This one is Avenida. Yeah, these are like some freebies. And also this is like a coaster from Vinta. I've also I gave away some ink samples to like people I talked to on threads, and yeah, I got some stickers and bookmarks in return, which is nice. Thank you, everyone who gave something to me. I joined the workshop, so it was a free workshop, and it was by, it's called Kulay Ani Workshop. So and that was a workshop about natural dyes. This was one of our outputs in this as well. And then they also gave us this coloring book from the National Museum of Natural History, but I'm not sure what I'll do to color. Actually, I don't have any coloring materials, and I'm not sure if the paper would be okay with fountain pen ink. So yeah. When you go in the registration, you have to pick like a stick, and if there's anything on your stick that corresponds to a raffle prize. I don't usually win raffles, but I've been winning since December, so that's interesting. But yeah, this is what I got. It's very heavy. It's a big box. It can't even fit in my frame. But yeah, so for scale. Super ionized water. So I have a total of, so this is like 1 liter Korean bottle, and then a 500 ml one, and then a 65 ml one, and this also came with like a spray bottle. It's so heavy. Oh yeah, this one is nice. It's a reusable screen cleaner. Now here's my Manila Pen Show journal. So maybe I should start keeping one for the next pen shows, and I think I'll use like the accordion insert, because that seems more like that's pages and also like more space for larger stamps. But yeah, for this year I just used this insert from my stash. I'm not good at stamps. I'll say that again. But yeah, this one is the like layered Manila Pen Show stamp. And this one is supposed to be like a postcard. You insert that in the guide so that it's all even. But since I use my journal, so yeah, close enough. And then this one is the Manila Pen Show logo. This one is the cat do stamp. So I just watch the inks and stamps, and as you can see, my fingers are the victim, so maybe I can use the Korean water now. But these are the, well, all the Capdo ephemera, and this is the Taho stamp, and this one is the calendar one. This one is the TN stack. This one is so nice. And yeah, I just put in the packaging and the other freebie stickers. Yeah, and then this one is the Game Boy Color from Mars Today. So I just punched out the packaging, pasted it here. And then these are the inks that I got. So these are all the exclusive inks that I got. The Vinta inks and the On inks. Hello Retro is a bit lighter than Avenida. I don't have like the energy to make my swatches now because that requires a lot of writing. And then the paper, so it feathers a bit, so yeah, maybe I'll try on a different type of paper. And I'll show that, or maybe I'll post it on Instagram or Threads, we'll see. But these are my exclusive inks that I got. And then these are the On inks that I got, so I just watch them again. And yeah, that's it. I did, okay, maybe I'll just show. So these are the Vinta inks. As you can see, I'm not the best stamper. These were like the freebies from Pens by Cal, so I just stuck them in. And these are all more everything calligraphy and Vinta inks. I really like the shape stamps. They're so cute. And also, if you can see, the jeepney had like a dog. The driver is a dog. This one is from the Manila Penography. This one is a layered stamp as well. And this it's so nice. And I also have, I think this one was from Aesthetic Bay, but I didn't, like, that was my first time with the rotating multicolored stamp, so I didn't know that you have to press 4 times, and I removed it on my first stamp, and then when I tried stamping again, and it's not aligned, so, but this is what it looks like when you press all the stamps. So, then Gillen leather, some more stamps from the stamp station, writing samples, more writing samples. Yeah. This one is my Kodachi nib from Pactagon. And this one is my cursive italic from John Raymond Lim. So, yeah, that's it for my Manila Pen Show haul. And if you have any questions, please comment down below. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.